Hey, good luck with your practice, Joe, and I'll talk to you.
You too.
Yep, good luck, bro.
No good luck to you. None.
No, it's fine to have good luck. I want to have good luck. It's all good. All good.
No soup for you.
No.
Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the squad. It's Blackthorn, Ice Water, and Puma. We're going to start with quick hitters. Let's go with Black first. What's your quick hitter this week, man?
You know, it's interesting, man. I saw a story where the WNBA might be facing a lockout, man. These players are basically they're in arbitration for a new contract, and some of the new money that's came in through, from last year, I think that may happen. I think they may kind of lock some things down and not play this year.
Help me understand. What new money? Because I thought they were like 40 million in the hole.
They are 40 million in the hole, but you have some new TV revenue that came in for the most part. You know, they picked up on some new channels, so they're still on the hole. Part of that in the hole because they've been playing in a deficit for so long, but they covered some of that up. But I'm tempted to say this too. Sometimes these leagues throw numbers out there that's not realistic. They kind of act like they're broke, just like the states. You know what I mean? We're broke, we're broke, we're broke. But they're making money, man, because if you look at last season with the WNBA, they were on a lot of different channels, man. CBS Network, they were on ESPN, there's some other places. You know, they picked up some revenue. And if you look at it, they just opened up, they expanded. They went to I think they're in Golden State now. I think they're looking to go into Portland. So if you're doing this expansion and you broke, come on, man. Come on now.
Ice your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say this, bro. You had one damn good season with Caitlin Clark, and now you think this all settled. All I'm gonna say, do what you want to. These ladies have the right to do what they want to because they are the product. But do not forget this. Do not forget this. Like I said before, that when you think about this, they there was a large deficit. A lot of that deficit is true. So you want to have a lockout because you don't get what you want. Look, all I'm saying is be very careful what you wish for because the NBA, you making money now, great. The NBA will turn that shit off for real. For real. You're not making that kind of money where you can command and demand that you want this, you want that. You just start making money off of a little popularity. All I'm saying is be very careful because for all everybody saying whatever, you might want to have a little bit more, maybe 1 or 2 more years or a few more years of money coming in, real positive money, before you start demanding. Because they started out with that Title IX stuff anyway. They was doing it that way too. So be very careful. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. All right, quick hitter, Ice.
Quick hitter. I mean, we talked about it before, but I want to talk about it even more. I want to talk about the madness of these NFL situations. You talked about the Pittsburgh situation earlier. I don't know. I mean, we're hearing now that Shedeur Sanders may drop down out the top 10. A lot of stuff going on. The Jets doing some things. What's going on with Aaron Rodgers? We don't know what that's going to be a positive. Seattle's going, seem like they're going backwards, but they kind of putting some things together. Getting Lawrence from Dallas, picking up, was it Darnold? And then also picking up Cooper Kupp. So there's a lot of shenanigans going on. And the one thing we don't see, and I'm going to get off of it because I can talk about this all day. I'm going to let you guys throw something in there, is the Dallas Cowboys are doing nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
Black, I want to get some comments from you because you sent me. I saw the story before you sent it to me about Lawrence, who went to Seattle, and what he said about Parsons. You want to talk about that a little bit for the Cowboys?
He's he's happy to be with the Seattle team, and he says not like the Cowboys are going to win a championship anyway. That's going to leaving the Cowboys. He said they're not going to win a championship, and the thing is, homeboy got his feelings. Parsons, who really needed sometimes shut his mouth. Being honest with you, man. And Parsons came back and said, started swearing and cussing at him. He said, "Look, man," he said, "you need to take that same energy and get off your podcast and put that on the field." And he's right, bro. The man's entitled to feel what he want to feel. He's not, he's not with you anymore. He can say what he wants to say. Everybody's not going to speak roses of the Cowboys, but and another thing I don't like about Parsons, how you talk about other teams, bro? I can see you about your team, but how you out there basically calling yourself a commentator, like you working for ESPN or somewhere, talking about other teams, what they should do, this quarterback. I'm like, bro, That's not your move. So I thought that was hilarious, man. I think the NFL, they find a way to keep themselves active all year long. And the last week was all that's what that was about, bro. They are, I mean, some of these teams making some dumb moves. I don't care what you say. Sam Donald for that type of money, it's crazy. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. You had, our favorite son end up in New York with the Jets for guaranteed 30 million. I ain't mad at him, but it's just kind of interesting. And Pittsburgh don't know what they want to do. They really not. I'm kind of surprised they wouldn't got that receiver. I think it's needed, but damn, you need a quarterback. I mean, you signed him for 4 or 5 years. Who's going to throw him the ball? You can't tell me that kid that brought back is going to throw him a boot off. All he does is dunk the ball down 5-yard passes. So I don't understand it. I don't understand what's going on. But I've been saying this for a while, man. It's time for the Steelers to. I mean, it's hard to think about this or fathom this when you're basically having winning seasons. I understand that, but if you want more than that, Tomlin has to go. There's no other way around it. He has to go. I mean, you could flip it upside down, say what you want. If you want to get in the playoffs and knock some down and win some games in playoffs, he hasn't done that in a long time. In a long, long time.
Yeah, I finally had to come to grips with this, and for years I've been fighting, trying to keep Tomlin, Coach T in there, but he's going backwards with this team, and I don't think they made, or Pittsburgh Steelers or him made a concerted effort to keep one of those quarterbacks. I know Russell still hasn't been picked up yet, but it looks like he's going to be going somewhere. If not, he's going to be there. But Fields, I think Fields, and maybe people will debate me on this. I think Fields, after he was taken out with a 4-2 record, he made a decision that, you know what, I'm not going to be here, because I was reading that the team, the players really favored Fields over Russell Wilson. And to do that to the team and to do that to Fields, just because you wanted a better draft pick, I don't know if they're going to try to draft a quarterback or not. It's like he's going backwards. And I can't defend Mike Tomlin anymore. I really can't. And there are Pittsburgh Steelers fans who live in Chicago here who can't defend it anymore. It's not good enough to just have winning records and get into the playoffs. It's Super Bowl or bust. If he's still the coach this year, it's Super Bowl or bust. If he doesn't make the Super Bowl, they're not happy with him just making the playoffs anymore. It's just not cutting it anymore with Pittsburgh. I don't know how long it was when they won their last Super Bowl, but it's getting up to Cowboy numbers now. That can't happen. That can't happen. That can't happen. Not in Steeltown. The other thing that I was looking at, Sam Darnold, don't agree with that. And going back to Pittsburgh, I don't think Metcalf signs with Pittsburgh if he knew that they weren't going to have a quarterback and they were bringing back, this old quarterback. What did you see in the last 2 years that he did that make you want to say, you know what, he's ready now. Let's bring him back. They're going backwards. Other stories. I like the Parsons stories, and maybe that'll light a fire under Parsons, but the Cowboys aren't really doing anything. I'm not sure what San Francisco 49ers and Shador. I don't know if I know last week, Black, you were saying how Deion Sanders, like, it's all, don't even believe the hype. It's all kind of like smoke and mirrors. They're just saying that because other teams want to draft him. But I would choose him over Cam Ward. I really would. If I was a team that needed a quarterback this year, I would go with Shador Sanders over Cam Ward at this particular point. I've seen both of them, and I like Shador's upside better than Cam Ward. Your thoughts, Ice?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Wow. It's hard both ways. I mean, because Ward went to Miami and showed you what he could do, right? He seems like just fearless and no nonsense. Not saying that Shador Sanders is not like that either, but it's more calculated because of his dad and all the other stuff. But I kind of want a dog, man. And I think they both could probably get the job done, but Cam Ward ain't got nothing to lose. He's a little cocky. He's like, look, you know what? I'm coming up in here and I'm gonna do what I need to do. I want that dog. I want that dude. Now I think Shador will be a good quarterback in the right situation. And I said this too. I would not be surprised. I think I'm not sure either the Giants or whoever it is at one is gonna take Cam Ward. I think he's kind of shown that he's the guy. But I'm not gonna be surprised if, and I really believe this, if it was me, I would do it because even though they made a move earlier, if I am the Raiders, I'm moving to number 2 or 3, one of those two to get where I need to be, so I can get Shedeur Sanders. It makes sense. You already got Geno Smith, okay? Geno is a stopgap. Geno's going to come in there. Geno's going to do what he does. He may not be the most prolific passer anymore, but he can win a few games. He can be a game manager while Shedeur is getting prepared to take over. So that's a year, 2, what have you, is great. You got an offensive coordinator. This came in, win the national championship. You got an old school dude in Pete Carroll that knows what it's like to have a good veteran quarterback, that he knows what's going to do and put him in the right place. And then, of course, most importantly, you got his man, his so-called mentor, Tom Brady. You mean Tom Brady ain't going to be on the field showing him what to do there over there behind the scenes and he part owner? Man, y'all crazy. Raiders, don't mess this up, bro. Don't mess this up. Y'all want to make a difference? Here it is. You got a hellified, one of the best young tight ends in the whole damn league. Get your little running back, and you got a little D2. Don't mess this up. Do not, I'm not even a Raiders fan. Do not F this up.
There are just certain teams in the NFL that you know they're just going to mess it up. The Raiders are one of them, the Giants, the Cowboys. Yeah. I mean, there are just certain teams that you know, like, this is too good for them, that it's just not going to make it happen. The Chargers, they're just going to mess it up. They're going to mess it up. And so I looked at the article with the Giants quarterback room. What are y'all doing? Why are y'all keeping a coach? Why? Fire him now. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. And then you got the Jets with 3 black quarterbacks. They got Tyrod Taylor and another brother. So they're going all black with their quarterback room. And you're looking at these NFL teams and you're going, I don't know. But let's clear the field. It's March Madness now. We ain't talking about the NFL right now. Black is going to be in this bracket, whether he wants to or not. If he don't choose any teams, I will choose them for him. We got some other folks I'm working on being this year. But, man, March Madness is here. The brackets are out. I ain't saying nothing. I'm not even going to say that. But I ain't saying nothing. These brackets are really curious. There are going to be some great games coming up. The thing that I see, Ice, is that, and you texted me about this earlier, about North Carolina didn't deserve to be in. I agree. I thought they should have, in order to get in, they should have beat Duke with 2 of their starters out. And they couldn't do that. I mean, they played a really good game towards the end and tried to make a comeback. But I felt, and I texted my cousins who are all Tar Heel fans, I'm like, North Carolina's out. They should have beat this team. They should have beat this team. And I thought West Virginia should have been in instead of North Carolina. I know some people were saying Indiana, but they were saying that, the committee was saying that if UAB would have beat Memphis, that North Carolina would have been out. And UAB and Memphis would have been in. Your thoughts, man?
Yeah, so, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, but North Carolina, they only had one win against a Tier 1 school and throughout the whole, country, to Quad 1 school, that is. So that means the very, very best. But they also had a loss to a Quad 3 school. So, I mean, I don't know. I thought Indiana, I can see West Virginia, but I also thought Indiana should have got in, simply because of the fact that, I watched with Ohio State got beat twice by them. Indiana, with their coach, playing for their coach, Woodson, they were playing on their own full tilt. They won a few big games. And I thought they deserved to be in, but you know how that is. I'll say this because I'm like you, I want to give too much away, but I'm going to serve the people. And here's how I'm going to serve the people. In the East region is flooded. I think it's loaded. Duke is the number 1 seed, but you have some other teams. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in that particular bracket. So you got Arizona, you got Wisconsin, you got Oregon, and Alabama's the number 2 seed. So it's going to be a lot of scoring. It's going to be very interesting from that standpoint. But I also think these are games that you want to watch to see what's going on and how things play out early. In the South, in the second round, you got a potential for Marquette to play Michigan State. in the second round. It's going to be a damn good game. You go out west in the second round. Possibility. Florida's the number 1 seed. There's a possibility they will play the winner of the number 8 seed, which is Oklahoma, and the number 9, or number 8, or number 9, UConn. So you can have UConn versus Florida in the second round. Even though Florida is looking real good right now, very interesting. Also in the second round, you can have Maryland versus Memphis. Another good matchup. In the first round, great game because both teams have been up and down. Kansas versus Arkansas. That's going to be hella fight. Kansas has been up and down, but you got the coach over there from Arkansas. And then the winner of that is going to possibly play St. John's, Rick Pitino. And it's going to be crazy. And last but not least, 2 more in the Midwest in the second round, possibly matchup between Illinois and Kentucky. And finally, Purdue versus Clemson. It's wide open. So the question is, we've had Alabama lose, right? We have Florida win. We had Auburn take some losses. The only team that has not really lost, except for one time, is Duke. And everybody's picking Duke. So we know Black Thorn's picking Duke. So y'all already write that down on your paper. You know, Black Thorn, I'm telling you right now, I ain't seen nothing. Black Thorn's picking Duke right now. And that's fine. Everybody's, Duke is a champion. They got Cooper Flag. Everybody's pumped up about them. So again, Black Thorn's picking Duke like so many of the rest of y'all. So good luck, happy hunting, good luck with all that too. So Duke right now is going to be the prohibitive favorite than anybody else. So congratulations, Black Thorn, Duke.
Yeah. Black, let me get your words because whether you like it or not, you back in this.
I just feel like, to be a 3-time champion, I don't get no respect. I don't get no love. I'm getting told who I'm going to pick. I mean, I haven't watched none college basketball. All I'm going to say is don't let me come in and whoop ass this year. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I got. Don't let me come in and whoop. Because if I do, but I will say I'm in this year under duress. I am. It's not my choice, but I will show up because it's for the fans. It's for the fans. I'm showing up for the fans. I done proved what I could do 3 years ago. I done prove it. Don't prove it. So I say, don't let me show up. It ain't gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be pretty.
Oh man. Bruno Sammartino is back in. We still gotta do that rest of the show. But I have no complaints about the committee. The only complaint I have is North Carolina getting in, other than West Virginia. But didn't West Virginia lose early on in their tournament? They did.
But the whole Carolina thing, man.
Yeah.
One quad win. That means the top 10s that are like any teams in the top 10, whatever. And then of course, I know it has nothing to do with it, but it did not make anybody feel any different when the chairman of the tournament is from North Carolina, the AD.
Yeah, they said they sent him out the room when they were making the decision.
Yeah, right. He already talked to the man. You already know what they doing, man. Yeah. There's no way in hell. You talk about conspiracy. C-O-N-spiracy.
C-I-O-N-spiracy. That's going to be the talk. And so maybe that'll inspire North Carolina to win a couple of games. I don't expect them to get past the weekend, to be honest with you, because of their inside presence all year. That's been their Achilles heel. Even though they've won some games down the stretch, to me, I felt like they didn't do enough. It's going to be really interesting because they have to play San Diego State, who is no pushover. And Texas has to play Xavier to get into that 11th seed. Also, Alabama State plays St. Francis, and then American plays Mount St. Mary's. So you never think that you would see teams like Xavier, Texas, and North Carolina trying to play their way into the tournament, into the 64. But, it is 2025. And I was surprised with Carolina, too, because they gave Hubert Davis an extension. I'm like, for what? For what? For what? So, anywho. That's all I'm going to say about the tournament. But we'll be putting our brackets up. We'll be talking about it next week. And let's go to the NBA. And I saw that the Lakers won without LeBron last night. Luka had a monster game, Black. But they're making some shifts in the playoff standings. Your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, kudos to the Lakers, bro. That's for the most part, kind of ripped them off for the most part of the year. One trade, man, lift them up and kind of lift them up for the future. I really haven't been paying much attention to them. I mean, because in a way, it might be a little fool's gold this year, but I think they'll make some noise in the playoffs. But they're not playing in the play-in, for the most part. Now, to me, this may sound a little strange to say or hear, but LeBron is smart. He should sit back and realize, okay, this team, what are they doing without me? When I come back in, I'm gonna play my role down. And I'm gonna do what's necessary when it's necessary for me to take over and win games. And if he's smart, he would, but he's not smart. I'm being honest with you. Now, when it comes to that, he's gonna come back in and try to get his numbers at 40, whatever. I gotta get my numbers, get my numbers. And what happens is you stunt the growth and you stunt the team. All you guys, you and Luka out there just throwing the ball around playing volleyball. And they're not gonna win a championship. But if he's smart, he would sit back and realize, hey, well, let me come in. At certain points, I'll take over. Maybe the fourth quarter, whatever, and help this team, push closer towards the championship. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I don't care what they do this year. OKC, my brother. OKC, they look good, man. They came to Boston last week. It wasn't a beat down, but it was a beat down. They came to Boston and put it on them without a couple of players, man. And these cats here, you could talk experience to the cows come home. They are mentally tough this year. They're gonna be tough to put out, real tough to put out. They're gonna go out kicking and screaming. I just don't see another team basically costing a trophy, but possibly Cleveland. I'm gonna give it to OKC.
Yeah, the Lakers made a free fall. They were the number 2 seed. Now they're number 5 with the Warriors a couple of games behind. The Warriors are 14-1 since the Jimmy Butler trade, so they're still rolling a little bit. And you're looking at in the Eastern Conference, the Knicks make the postseason. The Knicks are in the postseason, so they're number 3 behind the Celtics, and the Cavaliers already has the conference. But one of the things that kind of intrigued me, Ice, is that Cleveland can go on these runs where they win 10 in a row, 8 in a row, 15 in a row, and when they lose, it's like, okay, now the other shoe's going to drop with them. But they already won the conference. I mean, why? They really don't have to play hard and kind of rest their players a little bit, and then just take the playoffs by storm.
Well, that sounds good, bro. But how many times have we seen in the NBA that teams like back in the day, Toronto won the conference, right? And other teams did real well during the regular season, and then they fold in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So I mean, granted, Cleveland is playing their butts off, but that don't guarantee nothing, for real. It just doesn't. And until they show differently, I like the coach. I think the coach is top notch, and he has them playing. But you have got to represent in the postseason. And the problem that when I look at them, I love the moves. I love everything that they did. But you and I both know they got some people that they're not proving. The two big, as much as I love Mobley and the other big fella, sometimes they come up short in the postseason. And their leader, he ain't never really shown us anything. We still waiting on Donovan Mitchell, right?
Yeah.
What have you watched Donovan Mitchell and go, remember that time they was in the conference finals and they was in the finals? No. There's so much unproven. So granted, I'm not from Missouri, but you're going to have to show me. I hope they make it. I think they're a very good team right now. But as you know, it's just not right there. And I've been on OKC a long time, bro. And when they brought the big fella back, woo! And they looking at Boston like, we're ready. They have no fear. They have no fear. 2 other real quick points. What'd you say that record was, the Warriors? That went since Jimmy
14-1 since Jimmy Butler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the Warriors are at the number 6 seed. They're holding that.
Yeah. I just wanted to check that because, I know a lot of people, few people I know, even outside the show, called the dude cancer, and I get that. But it's just what it is, and I get that. But also, they just got Kuminga back.
Yeah.
So I don't know how far they're gonna go, but Some people may not fit everything, and that may be a problem overall. But Duke can play,
Yeah.
and he wants to win. He's never won. He wants to win real bad. In regards to the Lakers, I mean, everybody's talking about, oh, yeah, they are playing great. But I'll say this, they have dropped back. Let's say, for instance, if you said they're number 5 seed right now.
Yeah, they were number 2 last week, and now they're number 5.
Yeah, they stay in that 5 position. They need to be careful because that means they'll be playing the 4th seed, and that's Memphis.
Yeah.
So they go too, but it's a lot of what ifs, but I don't know. The only team that, as Black Thor mentioned, that I see is really dominant, OKC. Cleveland's going to have to show it to me. Boston is still Boston, bro. And the other night I saw, even though I think somebody beat them, do not count out Denver either. I ain't saying they're going to win it, but I think they can win a few games or a few series. But Boston, even though they lost to OKC, when they want to turn that on, particularly if they were to match up in the finals against LA, I think they will pummel LA. Simply because they do not have the matchups. They got some people in there, but they don't match up well. And the one thing that we notice, and people gonna say I'm a Luka hater, but I can't believe all of the hype is getting. Dude don't play no defense. And Jaylen Brown, when they played them, was like, bruh, you can go, that's great. I'm glad they celebrating you and whatever. But that when you up in here with us, when it count, you can't get that stuff over here. We showed you last year, and we'll do it again this year. Until he decides he want to come off his high horse, doing alley-oops and doing all this other, and laughing and pointing at people. I'm worried about his ticker, bro. For real. We talking about that Dogs. Dogs want to win that game. They want the finals. Granted, all the other stuff, I need a finals win from that, bro. I need a ring from him. And if you don't get that, he hell of a play, Hall of Fame. But I need this before I start celebrating that, dude.
Yeah. The Rockets and the Nuggets are kind of tied for the number 2 spot in the West. So the Nuggets seem like just when you think they're on a roll, they just kind of fall back. And, the Rockets are 7-3 in the last 10. Look out for the Clippers. The Clippers are 6-4 in their last 10, and they're number 8. I mean, Kawhi and Harden are playing, but you know what? I don't trust, Mongo Slade. I don't trust them. This is the regular season. They're gonna make a run. They may get in the number 7 spot. It's between them and the Timberwolves, but yeah. I hear you're not going to trust Mongo Slade no more, right? After the years of
I'm done. I told you, I'm going back. Ain't going back.
But I was reading an article where the Mavericks might forfeit games because they don't have enough players. Because everybody's hurt. So, maybe they have to go to 10-day contracts and grab some people from the G League to fill that roster. But they have fallen 2-8 in the last 10. So, wow.
They lost everybody, though, man. I just hope Kyrie come back healthy, man. Because I think him healthy and that team healthy, they're going to have something to say. That's all. I hope that he come back healthy.
And when is Anthony Davis coming back? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
But truthfully, if I know everybody clowning him, but they brought him back too early. Everybody know that.
Yeah.
They brought him back too early. He was trying to make sure because they got all that help from Luka. But if I'm Dallas right now, he ain't got to play the rest of the year. Why? We don't make the playoffs. You're in the 10th spot right now. You ain't gonna make the playoffs. You might get that lottery. Might be number 2 seed. Everybody else tanking. Why not? Shit, get that number 2 spot in the lottery and go and get you somebody and turn everything up. That's what I'm just saying. Get that draft, number 2 draft pick. I mean, everybody's doing it. LeBron is low management. Everybody is. Anthony Davis? You might as well just sit on out, bro. How many games left? 20, if that is less than that.
Less than that, probably, yeah.
What you come back for?
Yeah.
It's over. Everybody talk about you anyway.
That's true.
I'm telling my boy, don't he come back. Look, just stay on the list, and we just keep pushing you back until the season's over. It's all right. You ain't going nowhere.
That's just some big story in the NBA. We probably won't be talking about the NBA until March Madness is over with. That's usually how it goes. Out the way. Move them out the way. And but there's one particular story that I wanted to bring up as far as the NBA, and I'm looking at it real quick. It was one of the former NBA players who talked about how, Clyde Drexler says today that Today's players are being too nice to one another and has downgraded the competition in the NBA. Black, your thoughts?
No, I disagree. I disagree. I don't think nice is the problem. I mean, we grew up when they weren't as nice. I understand that. I just think the level of play, man, is the problem. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Curry had 4,000 3-pointers.
40,000.
Yeah, they lost their mind with that. And the mainstream media, they can't even recover basketball. I mean, and that's the thing. He's unique. I give him all his props. But because of Curry, you got centers now shooting 3-pointers, man. They don't play down low anymore. The game has basically evolved into a ticky-tack, don't touch me type of game. I'm going to sit out here. I don't want to get dirty. I want to get sweaty. Give me to my max contract. That's why the game is not watchable. It's not about being nice, man. I mean, let's keep this in mind. Magic and Isaiah would kiss before they started playing games. You can't get no more nicer than that. So miss me with that, man. I'm just, Clyde Drexler, go somewhere and be quiet, bro. I mean, I love you, but just be quiet. That's not it. That's just not it. It's not about nice. They just don't play good, fundamental, solid basketball. Nobody box out. You know what I mean? And then they could be fought on too, because you said this for a long time, boy. They're starting to call traveling. For the longest time, they never called traveling. They wouldn't call it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they call. It's like, And it's like sometimes I like the replay, but you got to be when a foul is a foul. And sometimes let them play a little bit, man. Every time somebody touch somebody, damn. I remember, I'm not trying to go back to my childhood, but damn, sometimes you got hacked. You just played right through. And you yelled, you screamed, you kept playing, man. These players, come on, man. So it's not nice to me. It's the level of play, the activity. It's just the game itself, man. They all want to play around outside. Nobody moves. Go stand at the 3-point line up there, find me. Move. Yeah. Move. You know what I mean? Give me the ball. I'll take all 4 players. That's not basketball. Come on, man.
Ice, Clyde Drexler says, hey, everybody's too nice, and this has affected competition.
I wouldn't say that, because I think dudes that want to play still want to win. They have pride. So I wouldn't say it's nice. They do play basketball a little differently, but I think the teams that really come with a full ensemble of the way that they go about it, a la the Boston Celtics, where you got a big man who can shoot a little bit, but also when they need to go inside and get nasty and play defense, they win championships. And I think once they finally got that together, where you had 2 superstars that needed help, and you got other people like, White, the guard, so many other people that play their position real well. And that's what makes a team. And I think that's what you see a team like OKC has put together, something where people play their roles. And I think that's what's wrong with basketball now. When Clyde played, people played their roles, right? You didn't care about that. You saw Bobby Jones come, and I'm dating myself, saw Bobby Jones come from the ABA, scoring a bunch of points with Denver, being a highlight film. And then he said, you know what, I'm going to tone my game down so I can be on the championship team. So I play for Philadelphia. All y'all know is me as a dunker and a defensive specialist, but he was so much more than that. And I think that's part of when you want to win, it's about chemistry. It's about playing basketball together and learning how to do that. But now everybody's either on their phones, they tweet, and they wearing their little outfits, trying to do whatever, not really playing basketball. So it's not about the niceness. It's about what do you want to do? How committed are you to winning? And that's what it's coming down to. We don't have enough of those. That's why you see, and I was making a joke about it earlier, but that's why you see a older team like Golden State. They get a dude that want to win. Even though he's a cancer on one squad, he helping to win. Because they about their business. They coming to play. They ain't joking and tweeting. How you doing? Like Clyde Drexler was saying, they coming to whoop ass. Because they want to win again. Because their time's running out.
Let me go to you with this, Black. This is the last question on the NBA. Do you think the referees let the players play a lot more in the playoffs as opposed to the regular season?
Only a little bit, man. Okay. Only a little bit more. I think they could loosen up even more in the playoffs, because if you go back, to, and I hate to keep going back, I just think sometimes if it's blatant, yeah, you're there. A little bit, let them play, man. I mean, somebody smacks me in here, okay, it's clear. They come through the lane, and somebody's kind of riding a little bit the forearm. That's not a foul. And I say blow the whistle on that. I mean, that's not they. Now, if they kind of impede their progress of moving to the basket, yeah. But if they got their forearm out and the player's just moving, let them play, because it allows the game to develop a flow as well. So some of the fouls they call to me don't have to be called. Now, some of the things like here again, traveling, going over the back, stuff like that, I'm all with you for that. But when it's just basically they're coming down the court and this little ticky tack foul, and sometimes, and I hate this, I always hate this. They come down with a layup, they wait to see if it goes in, then they decide if they're gonna call a foul or not. You know what I mean? Yes, you know what I mean? Call it when it's going up, whether it goes or not, if it's a foul. As soon as it happens, bang, let it go up. But it's like, and I don't, I'm sure they're taking their cues from Madison Avenue. But that's some of the stuff to me that can make the game a little more exciting. Take some of the calls out, man. Because when playoff football come along, if it ain't, they ain't trying to call everything. They want the game to kind of play and have some excitement to it. NBA can learn a little bit from that.
All right, so do they let them play a little bit more in the playoffs as opposed to the regular season?
I wouldn't say that, but because some referees have to have they got to get a balance where they have to be consistent in how they call stuff, right? So like when you go from regular season to the playoffs, you don't want to have a guy that's calling the little touch fouls, and then he letting you play in the playoffs. Then you already got people whining Luka. Anyway, every damn time he throw the ball up, his hands is up. Man, I was so glad they took that dude not too long ago. Just keep tagging him. You're good, but you're not that damn special. Respect the game. But to answer your question, I think that the people are forgetting because they let them shoot these fadeaway and everybody fell in love with all these fadeaway step back jumpers. The NBA used to be physical as hell.
Yeah.
Grown men, you come in that lane, whoop. The no layup rule in Boston. Everybody knew that. People getting clothesline, jumping up, want to fight. It's so soft now. So it's about physicality. So sometimes you just have to be strong and play. But I don't think, we always want to blame the refs. When are the players going to take accountability for doing what they're supposed to do? So if you good, and even though you get fouled, you still got to make your game, your shot, and make the plays because that's what the physicality. I tell the young people all the time, now if a coach or whatever, they want to go to a league or somewhere in this, I said, the most important thing about professional basketball is can you get your shot off when somebody leaning on you? It's physicality. That's why they make millions of dollars because it's that damn physical. Either you can handle it or you can't. And if you can't, go somewhere else or keep whining and getting calls. You're not going to win. Sooner or later, you got to be tough.
I saw this about Luka the other day, man. I think the NBA should have stepped in and fined him and said something. It was during a game. I forgot who they were playing. He took the ball. Somebody got fouled on the opposite team. He took the ball, and he literally wiped the sweat on his forehead with the ball, and he gave it to a woman referee. He did his ass kicked. Seriously. In the NBA, I would have basically sent him down for a couple of games because that is totally uncalled for. You're basically taking advantage of a woman that's a woman referee, treating her with See, that's where the commissioner, you want to bring back people watching, start doing stuff like that, bro. That cat's out of line, way out of line. He got a technical. That's not enough. No, you should have fined him and sat his lily white ass down. If you don't respect, and that's a part of the problem with the NBA players. They don't respect the referees at all. No, you need to respect them, and that's totally unrespectful.
Yeah, that was uncalled for, and I totally agree with that. Last second shot, Black.
You know what? I love the fact when grown men on television and women can speak their mind without people getting their feelings. When Charles Barkley went after ESPN not too long ago, I love it. LeBron, what you did with my man about your son, go somewhere with that, man. Men and women should be able to speak and say what they want to speak. If they don't put their hands on you, so what? Get out of your feelings. That's the problem. Well, a bunch of y'all acting like mama boys. Stop it. Get out of your feelings. People speak. We have a right to say what we want to say. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't. It shouldn't. Grow the up.
Ice?
Yeah, I was going to talk about Junior Bridgman being a great man and him passing and doing some great things, being a great entrepreneur and a damn great basketball player and a person that set another example. But I wasn't here last week, so I didn't get a chance to talk about the LeBron, Stephen A. Smith situation. I do see it from both sides. I see it from the side of people saying LeBron went after Stephen A. And you have to understand that your son is a basketball player and they have the right to go after him and say things that you may not like, same way they have to say things going after you. And I agree with that. And even to the point where LeBron went after him in a tough situation where he knew he couldn't respond. And I agree with that too. So yeah, I get that. But the problem I do have, and I was a journalist for over 20 years. Yeah, I used to be a sports journalist. And I'm gonna say this, and I saw it on all levels. I've been to Super Bowls, I've been to all that stuff. I don't toot that horn. I've been there. I've seen people interact. The problem I have with the Stephen A. Smith thing is for all as he has, and he's accomplished, $100 million contracts and everything like that too. The one thing that he gets to a point where he goes, well, LeBron, if they want to have something to say to me, he should have connected one of my people. Because LeBron is up here and I'm up here too, because I'm one of the top. I'm like, dude, you are the media, bruh. Without the game, you're nothing. Without the game, you're nothing. So my point of it is with him, with the media, some media members believe they're so high and mighty, and I think he's one of them. Not just because of what he said about LeBron's son and that, but he has this idea like his doo-doo don't stink. Like he is one of the top-notch dudes no matter what. And because now somebody told him he might be a candidate to run for president, he started to smell this shit, bro. He thinks, I mean, for real, you are a media member. I know you got all these stuff and things going on, but without these sports, where would you be, bro? That's always been it. No player, no media member is bigger than the game. Michael Jordan, Pete Rose, it's all about the game. And at some point, to me, this dude, Stephen A, believes he's bigger than the game.
President of what? A four-head club? I don't know. I guess when the clown gets in, anybody can. Let me get off that. I want to salute to the ancestors, Junior Bridgman and Slick Watts. When I heard about Slick Watts passing, I didn't know the man personally, but it just brought back so many memories of Seattle Supersonics and him with the headband. And I remember getting a headband when I was little and, thinking I was Slick Watts and all that. So, wow, they're ancestors now. And hey, safe travels. That's our show. We'll catch you next week. March Madness, baby.
Gonna be mad too.